See, that's the thing. We may need to fire you out of the orbital cannon. Because you see, there's been talk, and I would never say anything like this, but people are saying that maybe we can't justify your place working here anymore. In fact, we're not even sure that you know what you were hired to do. Do you know even what your job actually is? Because it seems like you don't. There has been concern that, you see, you've been distracting. That's part of the problem. You've been distracting so many crewmates with your looks. And it's actually, you dress too provocatively, Dr. Sparkles. It is like talking to your boss. I am your boss. I am in charge of making the final decision. You see, everyone's been talking, and they've already made... You're just gonna have to justify your continued work here on this ship. And you see, Mr. Hillsworth, see, all of you, basically, we're considering firing, so I know you might be stressed out, but we'd like you to keep it quiet, because like I said, folks are sleeping, and so I would ask you to not disturb them too much. So, dolphin safe. This is part of the problem. You don't even know the kind of lingo, as the kids are saying, that we put into our products. Dolphin safe means that we don't put down nets to catch dolphins. It also means that when the space dolphins come by, we move the ship over and we're out of the way. You were in charge of dolphin safety, and you forgot to put it on the label. So, you've given me plenty of reasons why we should fire you. Your looks, and I wouldn't say this, but some people feel like you're gonna make us jealous. Not us, not me, but some people are feeling a little bit threatened by how you prance around with your beautiful face. So, your looks and your dolphin safety gibberish and the fact that you don't even seem to know who's in charge, these are all reasons that we think you should be fired. Can you justify your continued work on the ship? Sleepy Embers, it's not funny, it's very serious. It's very serious. So what I'm going to do while we talk is I'm just going to prep you for being fired. So I'm just going to adjust some of this. We just have to make sure the right, you have to look good. So we're just going to adjust some of this quietly. The reason being, so you need to have your uniform in proper alignment, or you could die when we fire you outside of the ship. We're just going to leave you out to float. There should be some cleanup trash ships coming by, but we have to make sure that you don't die, because we don't want to get in trouble. It's just a lot of paperwork if you die. So I'm just going to adjust your clothing and your suit and make sure that everything is as it needs to be. It is true, everybody does need a scapegoat, but eventually the thing with scapegoats is we have to get rid of them. That's the whole point of a scapegoat, so we'll get a new one. I think Jones is an excellent scapegoat. He put way too much salt in the mashed potatoes, and so he might be our next scapegoat. Dolphin tenure is a concern. However, I don't understand how you even got dolphin tenure. I don't even understand. That's another thing. Jones has been offended by you lately with your accusations that everything he cooks tastes like tuna. He does not appreciate this, just so you know. Your snarky attitude, your ravishing good looks and unwillingness to date any of us. All of these things are reasons you should go. Can you give any reason why you should be here? I'm sorry. I just... Do you even need this job? You could go become a model somewhere. Now, Gabs, I don't think you understand, but you all are on the line here. We're going to fire you all. It's just we have to make a lot of cuts, and your gleeful suggestion that we fire Jones, who I just explained is going to be my scapegoat for the next firing, it shows your lack of listening skills. I'm not going to fire him now. I need to fire him in the next round of firings. Stop making me laugh. That's very inappropriate. What I don't understand is your attitude. Dr. Sparkles. Also, what kind of doctor are you even? This is interesting. You saw him dumping canned tuna in the vat. That goes against everything that we do here. Especially... This is a serious argument. You're a doctor of pepper. Canned tuna in the vat. Do you have evidence for this? This is a serious claim. This is an extremely serious claim. You know. And no, I'm not touching you just because your silky hair is fantastic to touch. As I said, I am prepping you to be shot out into space. And I didn't say anything about your silky hair either. You saw the cans, and they were not dolphin safe either. Here's the issue. The trade that we have with the hyper-intelligent space dolphins does rely on a dolphin expert like yourself, someone with dolphin tenure who can speak the language and so forth. I will admit that. And if non-dolphin safe tuna has been used aboard our ship, that could compromise the entire trade agreement with pretty much all the nearby planets that we work with. Can you prove this about the cans and the dumping the tuna? Dr. Sparkles, how do you know you saw a dolphin being hurt by the cans? Are you talking about the esteemed diplomat who is aboard our ship? Dr. Dolphinius Rambo. Is he all right? There are surveillance cameras. That's your job, isn't it? Actually, your actual job, not looking pretty. This is very, very interesting. Very, very, very interesting. Well, is Dr. Delphinius Rambo all right? Will he testify on your behalf that he was hurt by these cans? Does he know that we're eating non-dolphin safe tuna? Because if he knows that, that could because unemployment is terrible out here in space. It's very difficult for them to send you checks while you're floating away into the frigid nothingness of the void. So, Rafe says it's all Jones. Dr. Sparkles, you believe that you saw Jones switch the safe tuna with a non-dolphin safe tuna in the shipping bay. And Mr. Higglesworth, you said you saw him dumping said non-safe tuna into the vat that we have been eating and feeding Dr. Delphinius. So you're not saying he was physically hurt. You're saying that ethically he was being hurt by the fact that we were tricking him accidentally and feeding him, well, I guess not accidentally in Jones' case, and feeding him this tuna of his brethren. You witnessed it on camera, which is apparently your job. I see. And Mr. Higglesworth, how do you witness it? And Rafe and Cabs, why are you so in favor of firing Jones? Oh, when you said he got hurt, it was more so he stepped on an empty can and got hurt. Oh, I see, Dr. Sparkles. But why, Rafe and Grumpy Cabs, are you against Jones? Mr. Higglesworth, you saw it with your eyes. I see. Well, all of you in your silky hair. I mean, your preparation. Hi there, Christian Hillboss 005. I'm not sure what the microphone has to do with the fact that I'm firing you right now. I am going to fire you out into space, and you have to justify your existence. I see that you showed up late for the meeting. I appreciate that you showed up. But you are late. Why should we keep you on board and not fire you? And Suko as well, you are finally here. Finally, we're starting to get the people that we're firing so that I can properly fire you. Why should I let you still be here when you're clearly so late? Mr. Higglesworth says he was babbling about his brother being murdered by a bald dolphin in the cove. Jones was the scapegoat. That was why we started the meeting to discuss firing him an hour later, says Dr. Sparkles. Rafe just thinks he is sus. Wow, you really don't like Jones. I thought that I started this meeting to discuss firing you. All of you in particular, because the rest of the crew, I've spoken with all 199 crewmates, and they have been disappointed by your collective behavior lately, your collective performance, and they say that you all are the clique of outcasts that perhaps should be outcast or cast out into space as we fire you, you see. I thought, so I don't even remember. Dr. Sparkles, you're extremely rude. I am feeling just fine. Thank you for asking. I appreciate that, actually. Rafe, just Jones now. We're just firing Jones. Sleepy Embers, how could you make this accusation that our esteemed dolphin, crewmate, and diplomat could have kidnapped you? See, this is why we're talking about firing you. You're going to make relations between space dolphins and humans much more difficult with these kinds of accusations. Sleepy Embers. And I'm only smiling because you're so cute. That's not going to save you. Your cuteness isn't going to save you. Certainly not going to save you. Why should I allow you to stay? Dolphin tenure is an excellent argument. The fact that two of you can corroborate that one of you saw with your eyes Jones tampering with our tuna supply, and the other one, you saw it on camera, and that said tuna was then carelessly left laying out so that Dr. Delphinius somehow stepped on it, even though he doesn't walk because he is a dolphin. I see. These are good arguments, but these are arguments for why Jones must go, not arguments for why you should stay. Because I can fire Jones with all of you. there's nothing to stop me from doing that, as you, I'm sure, well know. And please keep it down, because other crewmates are still sleeping. What do you add to the crew that I should keep you along? And you're welcome to put it in the log here. Grumpy Gabs says she should stay because she likes turtles. Yes, the log. By the log, I mean the chat, comment box, whatever you call it, the live thing, or you could talk to me with your mouth, but you should, because we are documenting this for legal reasons, so that we don't get sued when you are all floating in space. It is very good to document it all in writing. And so we have in writing now that, Gabs, you like turtles. I see. That is a very useful skill. Oh wait, it's not. Actually, it is. Can you elaborate on why this liking of turtles is useful to us here in space? Dr. Sparkles says Dr. Dolphin flopped, not stepped on it, force of habit. You're definitely aware that he flops around with a dolphin respirator to breathe. Yes, thank you. Or he swims through the parts of the corridors that are underwater. Yes, I see. So Jones, knowing that we have soft-skinned mammals among us who cannot step to avoid tunacans, just left tunacans lying around, that's extremely dangerous. Do you think Jones is part of the anti-dolphin coalition that wants to end trade with the dolphins and wipe them out and take over their planet? Do you think he's a spy? Dr. Sparkles says everyone needs a turtle enthusiast, especially if they're mutated ninja turtles, says Grumpy Gabs. So you're saying that you have contacts with the turtle mafia on Smeekalon 4? I see. So are you threatening me? We can... What do you add to the crew, though? Besides your ravishing beauty and your cleverness and your insight into other people. Is that enough to keep someone on board? That and connections with the turtle mafia? I ask the same question for Mr. Higglesworth. Is dolphin tenure and a love of puns and a joyful, if snarky attitude, is that enough to keep you on board? Dr. Sparkles adds lame dad jokes, and Mr. Higglesworth can do the Kessel Run in 11 parsecs. Oh my. That's particularly astonishing, actually. Why did you leave your pile of clothes and things here? You shouldn't do that. This is another reason I'm firing you. Because you leave your things lying all around. Or are you going to say Jones did that as well? Jones left your stuff lying around here. Everyone needs a good laugh, and the Turtle Mafia can back us up in case of trouble. Grumpy Gaps says you're turtley enough for the Turtle Club. Take that all as you will. Everyone needs a good master of disguise. I see. These are all some very convincing reasons. So, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to need you to assist in the investigation into Jones to see if he's... Well, you're kind of a witness, so I'm going to start a separate independent investigation to see if Jones intentionally is trying to sabotage our relationships with Delphinium 4 via sabotaging Dr. Delphinius Rambo. Grumpy Gabs, I expect you to make good on your promise and get us some connections with